Good morning, I'm Atik Rumi, bringing you the news on Gold FM.
The news headlines on Gold FM.
In your headlines, Sri Lanka marks Easter Sunday as leaders call for unity and justice. Festive season transport services to commence next week. GMOA extends strike for further 24 hours. Reduced water cuts for several areas in Colombo. In your news overseas, Iran warns Middle East will become hell for US.
The top story on Gold FM.
Christian and Catholic devotees across the globe mark the feast of Easter today, celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ 3 days after his sacrifice on the cross for the salvation of humanity. This sacred day concludes a 40-day period of fasting and prayer focused on the passion and death of Christ. Biblical accounts state that Jesus, who faced crucifixion on Mount Calvary, rose today and appeared to his followers. Father Jude Chrysanthum, National Catholic Director of Communications, describes Easter as a divine gift, allowing mankind to cross over into new life. For Sri Lankans, the day also brings solemn memories of the 2019 terror attacks on churches and hotels. Despite these dark shadows, the enduring patience and mercy shown by the Catholic community remain a testament to their faith. Meanwhile, President Anurakkumara Dissanayake issued a plea for global peace and national unity in his official Easter address today. Reflecting on the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, the president noted that people across the world continue to endure immense suffering and yearn for coexistence over hostility. He expressed his hope that this sacred dawn illuminates a path toward ending such wars. Invoking the teachings of Christ, the president urged all citizens to fill their hearts with love, patience, and the virtue of forgiveness. He called on the nation to cast aside divisions and move forward as one Sri Lankan family, bound by brotherhood and unity. Meanwhile, in her Easter message, Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya also drew attention to the ongoing suffering caused by conflict in the Middle East, calling for a world where dialogue and understanding replace hatred. Guided by the message of love preached by Christ, the Prime Minister urged Sri Lankans to nurture forgiveness and work together as one family to build a nation founded on brotherhood and peace. In the meantime, opposition leader Sajith Premadasa called for a collective commitment to uncover the truth behind the 2019 Easter Sunday attacks in his official message today. He stressed the importance of honoring the memory of victims by pursuing justice, peace, and unity. Premadasa emphasized that the failure of both past and present governments to secure justice for those killed, injured, or bereaved represents a significant national defeat.
This is the local news on Gold FM.
The Sri Lanka Transport Board plans to launch special Sinhala and Tamil New Year transport services this coming Thursday. Chairman Sajeeva Kanakaratnam confirmed the deployment of approximately 1,500 additional buses to facilitate travel from Colombo to destinations including Hatton, Badullab, Kandy, Jaffna and Trincomalee. Special services will also operate on expressways with priority given to Galle and Mathura routes. Simultaneously, the Railway Department prepares to commence its festive schedule on Thursday, with General Manager Ravindra Padmapriya stating that extra trains will run based on passenger demand. Additionally, train operations on the Northern Line from Colombo Fort to Kankasanture resume on the same day. Ahead of the travel rush, the renovated Peta Central Bus Station, completed at a cost of 424 million rupees with assistance from the Sri Lanka Air Force, opens this Wednesday. The The Government Medical Officers Association announced the extension of its ongoing strike for another 24 hours, citing a lack of solutions regarding the medical transfer process. The union confirmed the industrial action will continue until 8 a.m. tomorrow, a move that already caused significant disruptions to clinical and outpatient services across the country. In contrast, the Ministry of Health reported that 96% of eligible doctors applied for post-internship appointments by yesterday's deadline, with 435 out of 453 medical officers submitting documentation. Addressing media, Health Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that the strike lacks a valid foundation.
අතර මම රජයේ වෛද්‍යවරුන්ගේ සංගමයේ වර්ජනය මෙහෙවන ඒ කණ්ඩායමෙන් ඉල්ලන්නට කැමතියි. ඔබට සෞඛ්‍ය අමාත්‍යවරයාත් එක්ක ප්‍රශ්න තියෙන්නට පුළුවන්. ඒ ඔක්කොම පැත්තක තියාගන්න. ඒ මාත් එක්ක තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නයට අපේ රටේ ලක්ෂ සංඛ්‍යාත මේ අහිංසක මිනිස්සු එකට පලි නැහැ. දවසක් කර දවසක් හැමදාම වෛද්‍ය වර්ජ. ඔබ කියනවා නම් මේ පශ්චාත් සීමාවාසික පත්වීම් ලබා දීම නීති විරෝධී. ඒකට ස්ථාන මාරු මණ්ඩල අනිවාර්යෙන් සිටිය යුතුයි. ඒක තමයි ආයතන සංග්‍රහය තිබෙන්නේ කියලා. හොඳම දේ මේ ජනතාව පැත්තක තියලා මට විරුද්ධව අධිකරණයට යන්නේ.
Meanwhile, this is what GMOA's spokesperson Dr. Chamil Vijayasinghe had to say.
එක පැත්තකින් පශ්චාත් සීමාවාසික වෛද්‍යවරුන්ට නවක වෛද්‍යවරු තාර්ජන කරලා කොහොමද විත්තියට හේතු කරලා උත්සාහ කරනවා විවිධ තීරණ ගන්න. එතකොට මේ සමස්ත ක්‍රියාවලියම වැරදි. මේ ප්‍රාණමාරු ලයිස්තු දෙකම ප්‍රකාශයට පත් කිරීමේ සිට සමස්ත ක්‍රියාවලියම නැවත ආපසු හරවනත් මේ සටන මේ වැඩ කටයුතු අපි ඉදිරියට අරගෙන යනවා. ඊයේ දිනේදී ආරම්භ කරපු වැඩ වර්ජනයේ මේ මොකද වෙනතුරු අඛණ්ඩව ක්‍රියාත්මකයි. එතන එහාටත් දෛනිකව තීරණ තත්ත්ව සමාලෝචනය කරමින් තීරණ අපි ගන්න සූදානම්. ඕනෑ මොහොතක සාකච්ඡාවේ ප්‍රශ්න නම් අපිට ගැටලුවක් නැහැ. හැබැයි එහෙම නැතුව දිගින් දිගටම සෞඛ්‍ය අමාත්‍යවරයා හිතනවා මේ උද්දච්ච විදියට හැදෙලා මේ ප්‍රශ්න විසඳන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. ඉතිහාසයේ මොතෙක් නොදකපු අන්ත මේ වෘත්තීය ක්‍රියාමාර්ගවලට යන්න උනත් අපි සූදානම්ින් ඉන්නවා.
The National Water Supply and Drainage Board announced a reduction in the duration of water cuts for Padukka, Homagama, Palanwatta and Pannipitiya to between 8 and 12 hours today. According to board chairman Chandra Bandara, under this second phase, Homagama faces a 12-hour suspension from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Meanwhile, the Department of Meteorology issued a heat advisory stating that temperatures remain at a level of caution for the western, Sabaragamuwa, northern, north central, southern and eastern provinces alongside the Monaragala district. In the Ratnapura district, the National Building Research Institute issued a level 1 landslide warning for the Ratnapura and Kolonna divisional secretariats effective until 5 p.m. this evening. The Customs Department gathered a record revenue of 226.4 billion rupees during the month of March. This figure significantly exceeds the projected target of 180.4 billion rupees for the period. It also represents a substantial increase compared to the same month last year when the department collected 147.1 billion rupees.
Now for some news in brief.
The Presidential Secretariat issued a special reminder to all ministry secretaries and heads of state institutions under the Clean Sri Lanka program, calling for the strict implementation of government-mandated energy management protocols across all public offices.
The business news on Gold FM.
Telegram founder Pavel Durov voiced support for millions of Russians bypassing state-mandated digital controls following a major collapse of domestic payment systems. Foreign media reported that the billionaire entrepreneur described the disruption as a consequence of government attempts to block virtual private networks and messaging services. Technical failures on Friday caused chaos across Moscow, forcing the metro system to waive fares and leaving shoppers unable to use digital payments. While the Kremlin claims these restrictions are necessary for national security against foreign sabotage, Durov insists the nation is now mobilized to bypass such measures. Russian authorities continue to investigate Durov on criminal charges while promoting a state-backed alternative app for schools and universities. Despite government pressure, Telegram denies claims of intelligence penetration and maintains that Moscow is simply attempting to enforce total control over mass communications.
International news on Gold FM.
Iran has warned that the entire Middle East will become a hell for American forces if military aggression continues to escalate. This statement follows a social media post from US President Donald Trump giving Tehran 48 hours to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Trump threatened that all hell would rain down on the Islamic Republic unless his specific demands were met. A senior Israeli official, meanwhile, confirmed that the military is currently preparing to strike Iranian energy infrastructure within the coming week. The conflict enters its sixth week as both sides search for a missing American crew member from a downed F-15E jet. Retaliatory Iranian drone strikes recently targeted US radar installations and military headquarters located in the United Arab Emirates and Kuwait. Yemen's Houthi rebels also claimed joint responsibility with Iran for a ballistic missile attack directed at Israel yesterday. In Lebanon, the Israeli military continues a parallel campaign against Hezbollah, reporting the death of a soldier in southern combat. Despite the violence, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi suggested that peace talks remain a possibility through Pakistani mediation. However, he cautioned the United Nations that recent strikes near the Bushehr power plant create a serious risk of radiological release. The closure of the Strait of Hormuz continues to disrupt a fifth of the world's oil and liquefied natural gas supply. Both nations remain in a state of high alert as the deadline for the American president's latest ultimatum fast approaches. Senior U.S. envoys Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff prepare for their first official visit to Kiev this April to revive stalled peace negotiations. Ukrainian official Kyrylo Budanov confirmed that the delegation, which includes Senator Lindsey Graham, intends to arrive shortly after Orthodox Easter on the 12th of April. These discussions follow previous meetings held in Washington and Moscow as parts of efforts to end the four-year conflict between Ukraine and Russia. Diplomacy previously faced significant delays following the outbreak of war in the Gulf and subsequent retaliatory strikes across the Middle East. This upcoming mission represents a critical attempt by Washington to refocus international attention on a resolution for the Ukrainian crisis.
Entertainment news on Gold FM.
The Writers Guild of America reached a tentative agreement with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers nearly a month before the union's contract was set to expire on the 1st of May. The deal spans 4 years, 1 year longer than the standard term, and includes major boosts to the health fund, pension increases, higher streaming residuals, and protections against AI licensing, a sharp contrast to the union's 148-day strike in 2023. The WGA is the first of Hollywood's major unions to reach a deal, with SAG-AFTRA and the Directors Guild of America still negotiating as their contracts expire on the 30th of June. The tentative agreement must still be approved by the WGA board and ratified by members before it takes effect.
Sports news on Gold FM.
Former Sri Lanka cricket captain Dinesh Chandimal expressed deep regret over false reports claiming he failed a fitness test conducted by Sri Lanka Cricket. In a statement on his official Facebook page, Chandimal clarified that he passed the physical assessment on his first attempt, a fact confirmed by relevant authorities. He criticized certain media outlets for disseminating inaccurate information that harms the reputation of players. The former captain further challenged those publishing such claims to provide credible sources behind their reports. Trinity College Kandy secured their fourth President's Trophy at the Sugata Das Stadium yesterday. This follows a dominant victory over Royal College Colombo by 58 points to 26. That's it for the news.